When I first saw the trailer to Sarazanmai, I was like, wow, this looks like it's gonna be a deep, thoughtful show about friendship or something, with a unique art style set against real-life video footage. Neat. Instead, what I got was... But at the same time, maybe I did get an anime that was deep and thoughtful. Well, maybe those aren't the right words, but this anime is definitely about something. And even with all the crazy antics of this show, it would be pretty difficult to miss what it's all about. Now, this show was directed by Kunihiko Ikuhara, known for also directing Revolutionary Girl Utena and Mawaru Penguin Drum. From what I've seen online, people generally fall into two camps when it comes to Ikuhara's works. Those who love his shows and those who come up with shit like this. Ikuhara bingo, insinuating that each of his shows are just rehashes of the same ideas over and over again. And now I shall reveal to you, I haven't seen Revolutionary Girl Utena or Mawaru Penguin Drum. I like to think that I come at this show with a fresh perspective, having not been influenced by prior works of Ikuhara. So, let's actually start talking about this show. But first, remember that weird frog thing at the beginning of this video? I'd like to talk a little bit about that. You're probably wondering what that was all about. Well, my friends, this is a kappa. It is a Japanese folklore creature that looks like a mixture of a child and some kind of reptilian frog thing. They have a bowl-like dent on their head that holds a pool of water known as the Sara, or dish in English. This Sara is said to be the source of their mystical powers. Said to be extremely cunning, they inhabit freshwater areas of Japan and love to cause mischief towards humans. Their main hobbies include eating cucumbers, sumo wrestling, and stealing your soul out of your asshole. And yes, I'm being completely serious. And now that you know that, you are way better educated than I was when I first watched this show, and you will perhaps be slightly less blindsided by all the weird shit you're about to see. And yes, if you haven't guessed by now, there is a lot of weird shit in this show. I don't even want to list any of it out, since a lot of the zany stuff is linked to plot reveals. What I'm showing you now is just a taste of what to come, should you decide to watch it. Overall, the animation is... well, you can see for yourself. I personally think of the animation as vibrant, fluid, and exciting to watch. One of the reasons I love anime is that from time to time you see wacky, truly creative stuff, and this show is chock full of that, and it feels like a lot of passion when it's animating these scenes. However, a lot of the animation is reused. For about the first half of the series, you're going to be seeing a lot of the same stuff over and over again. In particular, there are a couple song and dance numbers that play out in almost every episode. The show has a formulaic feel to it that makes you wonder if you're ever going to tire of the format. Thankfully, it breaks away from its own trappings at just the right time to spice things up, and I personally ended up missing a lot of the old recurring elements, such as the sexy gay cops dance. As for the characters, well, they're middle schoolers, but these aren't your average anime middle schoolers. They each have their own struggles that they deal with in very odd ways. As the show progresses, the secrets about each character's life is revealed, and every time it happens, it makes them feel more real, no matter how strange the secret revealed actually was. Their issues aren't trivial either. They're real things to contend with, and watching them overcome these personal problems makes it easy to root for them and to like them. Combine this with the other crazy stuff in the show, and what you get is an anime about a quirky squad of boys that go through some very strange things indeed, ever deepening their connections with each other. And that's one of the main themes of this show, connection. It's difficult to miss when they say that word so often in the anime. Even the titles of the episodes spell it out for you, each one being something along the lines of, I want to connect, but... and then followed by some reason that's holding them back from connecting. The stuff that generally holds these characters back from connecting is some sort of personal baggage. This anime is all about unloading all that and sharing yourself wholly with those closest to you, forming deep connections with each other. Which is a very long way of saying that this anime is all about friends! One of my main criticisms of the show is that the plot begins to stumble forward near the end. Certain plot elements related to the Kappas and the bad guys are just sort of revealed nonchalantly, and it kinda just feels like things sort of happen. In particular, there was one side character that I thought was one type of person, but then ended up being another type of person. I'm fine with twists like this, but I felt like there should have been something there to explain what I perceived as a sudden shift of character. I don't know, maybe I was just too dumb to see it from the start. And yes, there are poignant emotional moments in this latter half of the show, but those moments were sort of marred by gnawing questions in the back of my head about what exactly is going on and how we logically got to that point. I know, I was just praising the show about how crazy it was, but to me at least, the show should still have some sort of cohesion for it to work. Wacky, entertaining antics are great, but I still think the plot progression and character development should be grounded. And the thing is, there was a cohesive sense of story in that first half of the show. Secrets were revealed, problems were being resolved, and characters were growing. It seemed like the show was going in the right direction. There was just something about that second half that didn't seem as tightly written to me. With all that said, I still think this is an anime worthy of your time. It's a short fun romp with great visuals and interesting characters. It's not particularly groundbreaking or 10 out of 10 best anime amazing, but it's solid. If you're looking for something bright, energetic, and downright strange, then you should definitely check this out. Oh yeah, and the soundtrack is pretty good too.